Hello guys, how are we doing? And welcome back to Help with Harrz, a series where I try and make my subscribers better at Black Ops 6 ranked play. Today we are reviewing a Diamond 1 player called NJ. The focus of today is going to be consistency and how they can work as a team and be consistent every time they hop on to play Call of Duty. So if consistency is something you're trying to work on, this video is going to be definitely for you. It's also a Skyline Hardpoint gameplay. So again, if you want to improve on Skyline Hardpoint or consistency or your Diamond 1, this video is going to hopefully encompass things that you're going to learn and take into your own gameplay. We're going to take a look at the form that this player submits. We're then going to review the gameplay and analyze it out as we watch it live together. And then at the very end, we're going to do a bit of a summary and give NJ a predicted rank towards the end of the video. So they actually finished the map 33 and 29 with a 45 seconds on hill, 5 captures, fairly standard stats. I think without assists, you're probably going negative. I think chances are you're probably like, what, 25 and 29, something along those lines. So let's see why that is. At the end of the day, we should be going positive. So there's probably maybe some lost gunfights. But yeah, let's break it down. Obviously, beforehand, let's look at the form. So I want to first thank a couple of the new channel members to the channel, Cullen Cod NJ being one of them. So I appreciate you guys for joining and welcome aboard as a channel member. So they play on console at current rank Diamond 1, highest rank last year Diamond 1, 105 FOV, the 1.1 sensitivity, which does seem quite low, but we'll see how that works. We'll see if that actually hinders you at all in this gameplay. I usually recommend, and obviously you might have controller specific settings as well, which overlay over Call of Duty. So we'll see if that actually impacts you. I normally recommend 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, like around the 1.5, 1.6 area if you can. 1.5 that is. We play on a standard controller, an ultra-wide 27-inch monitor at 100 Hertz. Yeah, let's see what you actually want me to focus on. So if I just scroll out a tad, we can see, or actually shrink this down a little bit here, stretch it out. Consistently is something that you want me to try and focus on. Okay, so some days I hop on, can drop 15, others I struggle to get 10. I do the same warm-up every time. I'm looking for things I can change in my gameplay so I can help limit as much day-to-day variance as I can. I often play quite far away from my team, and I think I don't help with trades hills enough. I also struggle to break gunfights up and will stand and bang a normal and we'll just stand and bang. Not sure what that means. And normally lose the gunfight. Okay, so let's have a look. Again, consistency is something that a lot of people might struggle with. I struggle with myself. First things first, if you don't play enough, you're going to struggle to be consistent. I don't think your form said anything about how long you've been playing, how long you play for in a week. If you play every day, you're going to be more consistent than somebody who plays every other day or every 3 days or something like that. So first of all, if you can hop on and spend, I know if you can't, it is what it is, but if you can hop on and at least do a warm-up every day, that's probably absolutely fine, even if it's for 10-15 minutes. But the more you play, the more frequently you play is what I should say, the more consistent you're likely to be. So that's the first thing. Second thing, the day leading up to your session of playing COD should be consistent as well. I say you say you warm up every time. That's great. By the end of your warm up, you should be aiming for the like a certain percentage. So in order to be consistent and to warm up consistently, something I would say is gauge what a good day looks like for you. So warm up, check your accuracy percentage. What is that percentage? Whether it's 40 or 60, whatever, check your accuracy percentage and make sure that next time you log on, you're hitting that at least, and build a consistent result at the end of a warm-up. So by the end of your 10-minute warm-up, whatever it is, you check your accuracy, and if it's not up to par, you're probably gonna not have a great day in ranked play because your warm-up hasn't been good. So try and get that warm-up better. Like maybe spend a little bit more time warming up, or maybe say, you know what, ranked play's not for me today, I'm not going to chalk my hidden MMR. That sort of thing is something I'd recommend. And then actually your work day and the stuff you eat and stuff like that. If you have a day where you eat heavy foods, you go out drinking the night before, whatever it is, I don't know what your lifestyle's like, or you have a really busy day at work or at school or studying, whatever, and then you hop on ranked play, you're probably going to be a little bit worse than if you had like a nice relaxing day leading up to it. So that's also something you can try and keep consistent if you can control it. I mean, at the end of the day, we will have to do what we need to do in our normal daily life, not outside of Call of Duty. So yeah, there's only so much you can control. But in any case, let's go on with the gameplay. Let's wind this all the way back and see what we can spot. So first thing I want to just highlight is it's completely personal preference, but I would try and put the compass in the middle of the screen so you can see where enemies are, using that as well as your radar. I'll also try and pull in your HUD bound so that your radar is a little bit closer to the center of your screen, which makes it easier to flick over without completely taking your eyes off. And there's 2 things I've noticed straight away, so try and do that if you can in the settings. If you're not sure how, let me know down in the comments below. Nice, I enjoy your winning list. Just jump on the hill perfectly. Okay. So, we did see so there's all sorts happening. You've really got to be conscious of what your team are doing at this particular point. So, you've got a player who's, you can't really tell. There may be kitchen. You've got 2 players above you, and you're being shot from the right. So as soon as you're shot, or as soon as you hear gunfights, you should be looking at the minimap. And as soon as you get shot here, your first thought must be, where are they from? Where am I getting shot from? And that's your initiation to glance at the minimap, okay? And that's where you would see that player bottom Jim, who eventually comes and pinches you. Yeah? So as soon as you start hearing shots, as soon as you start getting shot, look at the minimap and see who's shooting you. Now, you know they're not up top because they don't have that arrow. You know, you see the arrow your teammate's got here. It's hard to see because it's quite small. You know this, the arrow that your teammate's got here, that's what the enemy would have if they were above you or whatever. And the fact they don't have that means they're on the same level as you. So that might help if you don't already know that. But yeah, they eventually come around and pinch you, but you probably should have read them there if you were using the minimap. Nice, you've understood. That's really nice, actually. You've understood that right lane kitchen is commandeered by teammates. Let's pick up the left and support the hill. What I'm hoping to see here is, at the moment, we have no idea where they are on the hill. You don't really have much, you know, you're not getting kills. You've got a stun and a nade on the bottom right. Let's throw them. Good kill. Nice. 3 down. Last one. Where are they at? Good time to reload. Stair glitching, which gotta do what you gotta do. Good kill. You weren't happy. Okay, the only thing about that whole thing I would say is you just done a nade when you try and break the hill, but you've done well here. Teammates, the enemies are clearly focusing on the new objective because they're not coming to you at all. Okay, P2's up. Where are your teammates? They're all the way in spawn, so they're not really helping you. So you don't want to push something yourself here if you can help it. Okay, it's a tough gunfight to win. You're never winning that. I think you overstayed your welcome at P1 there. Let's watch that spawn again, shall we? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Nothing really you can do there. I'm not gonna slam you. Okay, I did this in a recent help with Harrz, but this is not a ideal push because you've got so much to look at. They could be someone top, considering your teammates have got absolutely zero map control here as well. They could be top, they could be piano, they could be on this little window ledge, they could even be in PD1. And they could be on the pool table. There are so many places they can be here. This just is never a smart challenge. Good bloody shots. Good bloody shots. I would have lost that, probably. Not quite enough to get your teammates in, although you have spawned in the back. Let's see how we attack this. Okay, not bad. You are on your own, so playing life is a priority for you here, where your teammates try and pinch. There's only 6 seconds left of the objective, realistically, so it's not the worst thing in the world if you don't get this. But let's see some sort of rotation to the hill. You've already got a teammate there, so this should be good. Using a trophy, which I love to see. Okay. So this is a little bit of a tricky one. Reacting quicker to not having anyone here maybe would be better, but if you've just got 3 kills, your teammates already knew where are they likely to spawn. That's probably what we should have realised here. They're likely to spawn bedroom, they'd therefore come mid, but I don't mind that. I'm not going to critique you too much there. Now, I imagine this is one of the days where you're not as consistent as you'd like to be, or as your days where you are doing really well. And It doesn't seem your shots. Your shots seem fine. You did damage. You got the elim. Yes, I'm glad you went to help their team rather than go to P1 and head glitch again. Nice. Fine. You're doing well. This is okay. I don't really mind what I'm seeing here. I wouldn't do anything too different to what you were just doing there. We've spawned in. Look at the time. There's 10 seconds left. What do we want to do? I'm not adverse to this at all. What you're doing here, I don't mind. Okay, you're entering realms of SMG heaven right now. Okay, the area you're hitting here. If they're in this room, it's a small room. The bedroom, not bedroom. Sorry, it's a bed. Yeah, top bed. Bedroom, small room. Closet, small room. P3 from this side, small room. You're leaving yourself open to getting absolutely gunned by a sub. Sorry. What I would have loved to have seen is you to play around the right with your teammate. If we pull up Skyline here, ignore these people. We'll just move them out of the way. P4 is literally about to pop. And at the moment, the enemy's got control of this area. Okay. Now, in an ideal situation, and you definitely already know this because I can tell by the way you play, you want the spawns back here. You want this spawn back here. Now, the best way to get the spawns back here is to get back there the easiest way possible. Now, with an AR, there's a couple of ways you can push to break this without just getting absolutely gunned by a sub. You either go across the top and then control the roof. So you can either go that way, you can either go over the top and go hit the left-hand side around the back deck here, or you push through the right. Other than that, you want to be pulling out a sub. If you're taking any other route than that, pulling out a sub is probably not the play. But that's what you really want to try and do. Now, in this situation that we've got here, where P3's live, you've got support on the right-hand side here. I would love to have seen you try and support your teammates on the right. That would have been my play. Get to the right, get into the back here, block the spawn so that whatever kills you get the enemies either spawn kitchen or piano, depending on where the rest of your team are, and then you can focus on attacking the hill. Get the spawns and then the hill. Spawns, then the hill. Okay. Okay, good trade there. And again, we're in a really difficult environment here. Your teammates somehow really trying to get around the right. You're doing a great job at here, getting kills. Your teammates.
One bed.
Ooh, I'd have probably tried to cancel my reload there if I could have. But your teammates have done a decent job there. You've actually not done bad considering considering you had an AR. So this is a great time to cut the map. I think we got caught a little bit open here. Yeah, that's really tough. I like this play. So your teammates are in the hill. They've got a good amount of time. And I like, in your head, you're thinking, right, let me just cut the map here. And I like the play. It probably could have been executed a little bit better. I think you're a little bit scrambly there with a stun, with a nade. You try and chow that. Slow. They're going to pre-aim that. You didn't... Yeah, you just strafe sideways. Maybe your slide cancel sideways would have been fine, but that was not the best way to approach that. Okay, there's 20 seconds left of the old objective. Your teammates are on it. You're on new. What do we do? Okay. Now, I think this is a case of... Okay, in any other environment, in any other position, if there was 10 seconds left on an objective, where would you go? You'd want to try and help new, right? Being on yourself on P1 as the enemy team are also trying to approach P1 is going to get you killed. Okay, so the decision making here, and again, I don't know whether that falls into the consistency. Is it, when you say consistency, is it only in your gunfights and movement, or is it in your decision making as well? Personally, your shots seem fine, and if this is one of the bad games where you are inconsistent, I think this is leading me to think it's more decision making than your actual gunny and movement as well. When you are alone on P1 here, what I would have done in this situation is go to P2 spawns. Okay, so you spawn in, wherever you spawn in, P1 is about to pop. I think you spawned here, and instead of hopping on time here and just sitting on time waiting to be killed, you know they're going to be coming from kitchen, right? So if we rewind a couple of seconds here, teammates are getting kills, you're getting a limb. and you're trying to cut off the old. Okay. If you wanted to win the game, this is probably great for Limbs and great for KD if you really want to play that. Your focus should have been this guy. As soon as you saw this guy, you should have seen this guy at the same time, and this should have been your focus instead of running out of ammo completely here. But in any case, you get a limb, your teammate gets kills. Okay, at this point, there are 3 dead. You are Piano. Okay? This is you. You are facing the wrong way. That's you. The enemies are all going to be spawning here because your teammates are old. You've got to assume they're going to spawn here. Okay, the 3. I don't know whether the last guys will say they're there. Okay, there's 15 seconds left, so we've got to play it as if P1's active because there's pointless playing for P4 at this point because it's nearly over. Your teammates are already on it. Play for P1. If P1 is active here, what would your priority be? Okay, you've got teammates in old. What would be your priority with P1 active? Is it give up map control and hop on P1? Or is it try and be difficult around P2? Own this area of the map and then win that side, spawn the enemies out over here, and then you can play for P1 with the better spawns. It should be the latter. You should be, if this was P1, you'd say, okay, I need to then play spawns over here. I need to be, you know, rogue over here. Let me make it green so that's you. Allow my teammates to hop on the objective if they want, allow them to push through. You need to be making sure that P2 is active. So you need to play it because there's so little time left of the P4. You need to try and make sure that you're playing with P1 in your head and play as if P1's active. So instead of hopping on P1, long way about going and saying this, instead of hopping on P1 and just trying to get some limbs of these players walking across here, go back. You know they spawn here because you're watching the cross. You know they spawn here. Wrap back, play top, wait for them to get on the hill, and then just absolutely make sure they don't come up your white steps, obviously. But wait for them to get on the hill and then beam them from up top. You can then back up, play rogue, make sure you're blocking the spawn. That player will then spawn out, and then you're in a far better position. When there's 15 seconds left of P4 on Skyline, and you're in a position where 3 enemies are going to die, play new, play P2. Okay, get P2 spawns, go up top here. If this were me, I'm going to my right, looking at Piano, sitting at Piano, and looking at making sure they don't come from the white steps through Piano to try and get to Piano itself, and then going up the steps. And then and beaming down like that. That's what I'm doing in this situation. But we end up dying. We end up falling. Teammates die. Teammates, you know, get the rest of the scrap of P4. And again, but we've reset. We're at P4. They've got good control of P1, and they've now got the P2 spawns. Decision making could have enabled you to get more kills and essentially win more time on P1 and maybe P2. So I like the pace here. You're checking what you need to check. This is good. You're not playing too quickly. Unfortunate, I guess, timing there or awareness, or maybe I'm not quite sure which one it is. You had both utilities. Perhaps you could have used them a little bit. No shouldering. Still a player on time, and you've not used just... Yes, nice. Okay, he's there in that corner. Just rewind this a second. See, your sensitivity has made it so slow to turn around there. Look how slowly you've had to turn to get there. It's the first time I've seen your sensitivity milk. But it's fine. We've got P2 spawns. There's 20 seconds left of P1. There's 15 seconds left. Again, that's a good read. It's a good read from that player. Your main focus right now should be P2. It's 3 down. Go, 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 go. I think you're surprised by that gunfight, so again, that comes down to just not being able to read it properly. This is a really hard hill to break with an AR. Because this is how you have to play. I'd probably recommend pulling out a sub here if you can use a sub. Again, your sensitivity might be holding you back slightly on that. And again, your sensitivity, you've not been able to chase that guy because your sensitivity is so low. I would try a higher sensitivity. Nice. Teammates who just got some good kills. They've got some good map control. Enemies are now spawning out. Let's see what we do. Centering not quite on there. So yeah, this is the first, well, an early sign that you're not quite warm. I don't know whether you wanted to strafe left. to correct your aim there, and the wall was just in the way. Let's rewatch that gunfight. That's a good off angle from them. It's not the worst case in the world. Your teammates have got control of the hill. It's not great for your stat line, don't get me wrong, but for the actual objective, it's not looking bad. That's 3 down. You've got hill control. I don't like this. I don't like this. So, rewind. This is a great position to be in. Let's paint this picture, shall we? You're here. You've got teammate, and teammate. Where are they? There. One's behind you. Ish. Maybe there. Yeah, okay. That's about right. You've just got 3 down. Where? Ignore there. Ignore that these are here. Where are they going to spawn? Okay. You should be saying, make it red. You should be saying they're going to spawn here, because that's where they will. Okay. There's 4 spawns on every hill on this map. It's here, 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 and here. Pretty much on every hill. The safest spawn for them is actually probably here. So in either case, they're going to be spawning back here. Okay. They're not going to be back here. So you know they're spawning here, or let's say here, just to be general. Why would, and there's 3 down, which means, so you know there's going to be guaranteed 3 coming from that way. Again, we don't know where the 4th is. Let's assume they're middle, because why not? You don't know where they are. Let's assume they're middle. Why would your attention be on anywhere but supporting the hill, especially considering you actually want these spawns? You want those spawns back there, because P4 is over here. So if this were me, I am just 100% trying to catch them sprinting from this new thing. So where are they going to go realistically? When they spawn here, where are they going to go? They're either going to go through bedroom, over the top, or through here. They're the 3 areas they're going to go. Now, by the time I'm going to make the screen, by the time you wrap around and do whatever you're planning on doing, they've already achieved all of these routes. Look how long that green line is compared to the red lines you've got here. It's very clear that by the time you get to wherever you want to get to, even if it's like bottom piano to middle, I think you're trying to cut them off again. I think that's what you're trying to do. They've already got to these positions here. Because you've just got 3 down, you need to make sure these lines of sight, these are cut off as soon as possible. So how do you do that? You just hit the time. You hit the time, head glitch this table and look that way. Trust your gun. Your gunshots at long range are really solid, helped probably by your low sensitivity. But one of the main routes they're risky you risk getting broken by, if I just draw them out again, and then bedroom was the last one, is this one. So immediately get to the table and cut off that line of sight. Worst case scenario, they're not coming that way. Okay, in which case you're still on this head glitch, right here, and therefore you can look at you. You can go between looking that way and that way. If they want to go all the way over, and you're covered then from every single line here. If they want to go all the way over, great, they can go over, but then you're going to spawn at the better spawn because they've flipped you out. Okay, the route you're going to take here is going to take longer or the same time as it would take for them to get to the spawn to the hill, and that's something you want to not do. So your decision making here is probably going to mean you're out the play. Yeah, we take a route to P1. I don't mind this. Your teammates are doing a really good job. Try and get through. Try and flank them. Why are we settling here? Okay, your teammates are getting good kills. The enemies are spawning in over there. Maybe behind them. We're not sure. This is... I like the fact we're cutting the map, but your priority here, while you've got good hill control, is try and find a leak through. You may as well just try and get into their spawn on the left here and pinch them. Okay? Thankfully, your teammates have managed to hold the hill here, so my previous threat of them just getting through is not an issue. But you're now not in a position where you're helping the team much. They're just going to maybe keep banging in front. They're going to keep spawning left. I would have most definitely tried to try and leak away through there to be way more impactful. That's what you should have probably done, because you're still spawning here. Enemies are still spawning at the better side. In this position, if you can get all the way to P1 without being spotted, try and just get through the back. Win your gunfights to the back, and then your teammates can turn around and focus. Worst case scenario, you flip the spawn and your teammates end up getting killed from the barbecue area on the right hand side over here. They win 20, maybe 15, 20 seconds, maybe if that, but you've got the better spawns for P4. Use this opportunity. It's a really great opportunity, even before you shoot, to be honest. Use this as a really good opportunity to try and flank, okay? Get this kill and run under. I wouldn't even settle here. You've managed at this point to get to, I'll reround it a little bit. You've managed so far to get this point and not get spotted. Try and get through bedroom. You've got such a great opportunity here to get the better spawns, and you've not done it. Okay, your teammates, yeah, you get the gist. You get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, 1v1.
So we end up dying to the player. We spawn out, and we no longer have 1 P3 and 2 the better spawns for P4. Good 2-piece, but it's a complete reset because we don't have the better spawns. Oh, that's unfortunate. Teammates doing a great job of getting through there. Nice. Win that. Nice. Now we push it. Okay, that's a really good aggression from the enemy player there. We're spawning all the way out over here, so it tells you there's someone kitchen and there's people in the back. Otherwise, you'd just spawn kitchen or in the back. Again, we went to, I think, it's your instinct, I believe, to just try and cut the map. So I like the stun just in case. Good nade. 23 seconds left. There's a lot of hill time we're given here. Worst time to do it. And I'm going to give you a second to guess before I answer why if this is the worst time to do this. Now, I have just said in a previous hill that pushing through is a good idea on P4. But why would you not want to do that now? The reason for that is because there's 15 seconds left. By the time you get around here, 15 seconds left. And what you're going to do by being back here is any kills your teammates get, you're going to spawn the enemies all the way over here. So you're going to get control here. Your enemies are then going to get control here. And then guess what? P1 pops. They've got the better sizes of the spawn already. Okay, so you want to try and just keep them back here. Give up the 17, 15 seconds. Okay, you don't care about that at this point. Set up for P1 again. Okay. This is, again, great for your elims, great for your kills, whatever. And to be fair, I think you're probably okay because they've killed you. But if you won that gunfight, you're then going to spawn back there. And that's not what you want. Really good kill there. So, you won that. Good kill. Nice stun. Because you were aware that your teammates are still spawning out. Good kill. Now we've got to try and be elusive. Try and be unpredictable. Try and block the spawns. Oh, really, really tough gunfight to lose. No need to jump. No need to jump. You're already shooting them. You got the first bullet. You've got... Oh, you would have won that if you didn't jump, I promise you. I think your teammates also just timed out. Wait, are they timed out or is it them? Fury timed out. I don't know whose team they're on. Let's rewind this. Yeah, you thought it was clear because you had a teammate in you. We're putting ourselves in positions again which aren't favourable for you. Like, you don't really want to chow people from here. Why don't we just go top? Okay, there's no reason to go top. Clear top piano. You know your teammates already got through. And that's especially why you should be going top here. So if you spawn in, trying to make it so it seems sensible. You spawn in, your teammates causing havoc at the new objective. Where are they? They're up there. You can see them on the radar. You know they're there. Your teammates just died on hill, whatever. Join them. Try and be annoying. Make it so that the enemy has to worry about the new objective. That's lucky. Nice, she did enough damage. Fury didn't tell me he's literally playing. I don't know what that come up for. Okay, it's not over. Your teammates got good control of P2. Try and help them. Go, go, go. You can cut off piano steps here really easily. You know there's one beneath you because they just shot. Good nade. Really good nade. Let's see if we can finish that kill. We can. Love that. Teammate's got kitchen, so you don't have to worry about people coming beneath you yet. Nice. This is we should get 40 seconds here. This is really nice hold.
One shot, man.
Nice. Okay, I love it. Now, I don't love the gunfight. Don't get me wrong. I don't love the gunfight. It could have been better. But what I do love is your willingness to just jump out and cut the map immediately. And I know you're already good at that because I've seen you try and do it over and over again. Shaky gunfight. Shaky gunfight. Needed to win that, really. They're really good at just pushing out, to be honest. They keep catching you at the worst timings. Okay, 7 seconds of old. They need to get to new. Let's cut off a route from old to new. Yeah, this is rough. Okay, we finally spawned Cobble for the first time on P3 this entire map, which is really good. What we want. Last guy. Big kill. The rest are spawning out. So we've run out of bullets there. We're pre-firing, which I don't necessarily mind. Tricky. Again, I don't mind pre-firing. I'm not going to critique your pre-firing because I think it's an okay habit to get into, but just be selective of when you do it. Okay, that's 3 down. Probably 4 in total if over the time. And they're all spawning that side. All your teammates pushing it out. No one's blocking. Teammates to run back to block. Really good teammate there for you. Teammates spawned at front, which means they're coming behind you. You just need to not die. Good kill. I don't mind this. Good kill. Go new. They need 1 second. They need 1 second. They're not going to get it here. Your teammates are here. Teammates are already on new. Go, go, go. Leave it. Yeah, they win. Okay.
Yeah, I played like shit.
Not as bad as I thought. Not as bad as I expected, considering you said consistency was the one thing. There were only a couple of times where I've rewound it back to the beginning, by the way. There was only a couple of times where your shots looked off. They were like, your shots generally were pretty good. Your inconsistencies, and the reason you lost this was more due to your decision making. Now, consistency is something that you could always improve upon, and decision making like that is part of consistency. The best thing to do is when you're in certain positions, like literally learn things you should be doing on certain hills. Okay, so on P1, have a certain strategy. On P2, have a certain strategy, and make it so that in your head you've got a really good plan of action every time, and it means that you are therefore making more consistent decisions because it's a plan that you follow over and over again. To decide what that plan is, yeah, I mean, watch people who are really good. Watch what the pros do. Have a look at the ranked play guide down below, which should be able to hopefully help you on a lot of hills. But it's not always about cutting the map. Okay, but yeah, consistency. Obviously, if you can play more frequently, as we've said, that's going to be a really good thing. And yeah, as I said, I don't think the consistency issue here, at least in this gameplay, is it impacted your shots, because look at that, and your movement seems okay. So what do I really like about your gameplay? As I say, your shots are good. Shots are really, really good. Your ability to not just sit on the hill and absorb time is also really helpful. You know, you're willing to cut the map. You're willing to put some pressure forward, even though your teammates are on the hill. Really love that about the way you play. And your movement's not too much. Like, you do enough movement, okay? You're side cancelling around corners there, but you're not side cancelling and getting caught sprinting. I'm quite happy with the movement, okay? So fundamentally, you've got a lot of the I don't know, the bones of being a good player. I think you just need to make better decisions. I think that's what it comes down to, and that's really hard to learn. And at least it's quite hard to teach as well, to be fair, but it's really hard to learn. But you've got to be trying to do what's the best for your team. We try and cut them up over and over again, okay? The fundamentals of Call of Duty, right? Especially hardpoint. I'd probably recommend you watch my hardpoint guide or at least my mistakes to avoid in hard points. I'd recommend that first of all. But when there's 15 seconds left, you should be, or 15, 20 seconds left, you should be playing as if it were the new objective. So if there's 15 seconds left on P4, play as if P1 is already up, play for the spawns you want through P1, and it's going to make it so much easier for you to get time. Okay, it may not seem like you're going to get much kills as a result, but you're more likely to win by doing that. And I went over the details of that earlier on, so I'm not going to go and repeat myself, but that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. And then cutting the map is only beneficial if your teammates are already on the time, you've already got someone blocking, and you know where the enemies are spawning. There's no reason to cut the map, or you shouldn't really be prioritizing the map cut if you don't have good spawns, your teammates aren't on the hill. Like this is a good example of when you probably should, okay? But at that point, there's 30 seconds, your teammates got good spawns, your teammates have got good hill time here. That was a perfect time to cut it, okay? I don't mind that, but learn when to do it and when not to do it. But best, honestly, I think I'm going to try and summarize now 3 things I think you should try and focus on. First of all is on every single hill, on every single mode, on every single map, have a plan that you want to achieve, okay? Have a setup in mind that you think should be good on every hill. Again, my hardpoint guys are there to help you for that, or watch pros, whatever, and be one of those pieces on that setup as much as you can, okay? Play, rotate more effectively, I think is the next thing I think you should try and prioritize. Rotate more effectively. And again, this may be because of inconsistency, but fundamentally what you should be doing when you rotate, and I've said this again, I'm going to repeat myself so it's hopefully clear, is when there's 20-15 seconds left of hill, play as if the new hill is up, okay? Play for the spawns you want for the new hill, not sit on the new hill. That's effective rotating, because the reason the spawns are good and the reason you should fight for spawns is because it makes it easier to then take and own that the next objective, okay? So fight for the spawns, not the hill. And actually those 2 things I think are fundamentally going to make you a much better player. I've seen people with worse shots and worse movement and worse decision making in Crim. I definitely see you getting Crim at some point, maybe not this game, perhaps the next one, because I know there's a little time left of this one, but it's really that decision making. I think your shots are fine, I think your movement's okay. The only other thing I would say is maybe up your sensitivity, because when you get to those close range engagements, when people are sliding across you, you can't track them, so maybe try a little bit higher. As I say, I'd recommend anything between 1.4 to maybe 1.7, push 1.8, and I think you'll be fine. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful. If you have any other feedback, for those of you who are watching who aren't NJ, leave it down below. Keep it kind and keep it constructive, of course. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.